Absolutely.
This is the podcast where we talk about rabbit trails. We don't. We seem to talk about rabbit trails quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Like, for as much as it's not about talking about rabbit trails, we do discuss it.
They just happen to come up more often than not.
That's fair.
Well, this week we our new partner in crime is feeling a little ill, so he cannot participate tonight. By the way, this is it. Pour one out for the homies. But yeah, so he could not make it tonight, but you still have ADHD Pizza After Dark.
After dark. It is dark here.
Sam and Riley.
The original crew.
Oh, geez.
OG Rick.
So we decided for this podcast, we're going to do a seasonal check-in. I feel like, and me and Sam both agree that, like, we want to start doing, oh, that's a lot better. I'm sorry. We want to start doing questions every season on, like, progress in our personal lives. And, yeah.
I really like this idea. It's something that I do on my own anyway. I usually set goals for myself for the season, usually about once every 3 months, once every 6 months, something like that.
Once every 3 months?
Once. I'm going to keep saying this word over and over, and y'all are going to get super annoyed. But yeah, I try to do this for myself.
Because you're a dunce.
Ayo.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm big on New Year's resolutions, but I really don't like the getting into shape or the basic ones that you quit after a month. I'm more like, my New Year's resolutions always are,
what are you going to do to better yourself?
What trajectory am I going to set for myself this year? Instead of less of a specific goal for the year, although it's usually, if it's going to be a goal, it's going to be a vague goal, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not just going to say I want to be out of debt by the end of this year. I'm going to say I want to be more financially stable. So whatever that ends up translating itself to.
Or like we're working towards being financially free.
Exactly. Yeah. Something that has a lot more. It takes a little bit more to define it.
There's a little more.
There's more leeway for you too, because I feel like if you said I want to be out of debt, or let's use the gym as the example, right? So you say, I want to go to the gym more. Okay? There's no definition to that goal, but there's also no leeway in it either.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning of this year.
I mean, there is leeway in that.
No, I mean, there isn't leeway in that.
I thought you said you...
So, if you want to do it properly, at least in the way that I see it, you would say, I would like to make more steps to become more fit. So that way, even if you make 2 steps to become more fit,
it's better than no steps.
It's better than no steps, and you still have completed your goal by the end of the year. And that just gives yourself so much more patience, so much more room to grow into whatever that ended up being. So, like, for example, at the beginning of this year, I did want to go to the gym more, but I set more of a goal of how am I going to be more fit. So it translated into, instead of packing chips for lunches, I'd pack carrots. And I was going to the gym. I did it for 4 months straight. I was going like every day that I worked. I was 5 times a day at the gym. So I was doing really, really good. 5
times a day?
5 times a week, sorry.
Okay, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, not quite that much.
You also set a goal for starting your company this year, and you did that.
I did. We can talk about all 3 goals.
And the podcast.
All 3 goals that I've had this year. So with the gym, I went there for 4 months, and then I quit that job, which was an on-site gym. But every other job that I've got afterwards, health and fitness was on my mind about the jobs that I was choosing. And so I started working at a fencing company, which involved a lot of lifting and a lot of moving. And then at the machine shop, I still do a lot of lifting, right? So I have kept on the progress that I started 4 months ago purely by having that as a frame of mind, instead of saying I need to go to the gym more, because I've had opportunities. Like, my mom has a Y membership that's a family pass. I haven't gone to the Y, really. I don't really like going to the gym that much, but having a job that requires a physical demand out of me has been so much more satisfying to me to work out. And I lost, over the course of this year, I have lost 22 pounds.
There you go.
And I've kept it off. Like, I lost most of that at the beginning of this year.
I've done quite the opposite.
Have you?
Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I want to say since I moved into my house, I've probably gained close to 40 pounds.
Happy cow syndrome?
I guess.
You know about that, right?
When you, same thing as like
When you start to settle down, you start to gain weight.
Yeah.
And different parts of you gain weights in different parts of your body than you normally would. So like, if you're normally like a stomach guy, it might go more to the chest or your arms or something like that. It's very interesting. It's an interesting concept. I had it happen when I was living with an ex of mine. Maybe it's getting on 4 years now. But I was up at like 205 at that point. I weigh 170 right now.
You know how old I was when I hit 205?
14.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I think I hit two probably when I was in 6th grade.
But you're also built way different than I am.
This is also very true.
Like, way different.
But like, and like, I want to say my freshman year, I was like 225. But I was
You
also,
played football too, right?
I played football, so I was in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I might or might not have set the freshman record at school for a couple of years.
Fantastic.
For squat, like 425 as a freshman.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
And then I improved my max 110 pounds by the time I was a senior.
For my
Which was
for my body size, I used to be able to bench 300.
No.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
What?
Yeah. My family has joked forever that we are dwarves. Like we're short, but like
Strong.
crazy strong for how short we are.
Mine's all in my legs and my back.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm talking like down like this. Like I couldn't straight lift 300 pounds.
Like you
Like down, laying down, one rep up.
Yeah. That's just like your max.
Yeah.
So in high school, my most was like 285.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. There was something I hit 300 on.
Maybe a squat, where that's
where you
got the bar across your back and you squat all the way down and come back up.
Yeah.
That sounds
okay.
more like a
yeah.
squat
That
weight.
sounds. Yeah. That sounds right.
Because like, not like 315 was a high hitter and for football players.
So what was I benching when I finished going to the gym this year? I think I was doing my one rep was
Body weight maybe.
175. Yeah, somewhere around what my body weight is. Like 175, I think, is where I was topping out. And then I have no idea what it is now. It's probably actually a little bit more just for the amount that some of those heads lift for. Like they're super heavy.
I feel like if I got into it again, I feel like I can, like if I did a proper workout at least once before, I might be able to hit maybe 265.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't even be my body weight.
Right.
Like
Is that what most people shoot for at the gym?
well, you try and shoot for more than your body weight.
Right. But the
'Cause,
goal
like,
is to get there first.
Yeah.
Your first goal is to get body
if you
weight
hit
first.
body weight, then you can essentially, if you can hit body weight on a press, then you should essentially be able to do a pull up. To be able to lift your whole body weight up.
Gotcha.
Oh, dude. Oh, I got sprayed in the face with some metal shards today. So.
Oh shit, that sucks.
And some of them went around my safety glasses in my eye.
I constantly get sand beads from the sandblaster. Like those little glass beads are always sitting up under my eyes. Sometimes I'll blink and one will get in there, and I guarantee you it'll sit there for 3 days. Or at least the impression of it will sit there for 3 days, and I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So it's like the ghost feeling of having
yeah. The other goals that I had this year were start putting myself more towards a career. And I feel like in a lot of ways I've helped myself, and in a lot of ways I've hindered myself in that regard. But
what
it was all
what do you think the business was? A help or hindrance?
right.
Because I could see it as okay. I feel like I could see it as both, but
I was gonna say right now it's a neutral.
because like
I went way too hard. I did not need to sign up for an LLC right away. That's way too much responsibility for what my business is right now.
okay, when you start an LLC, do you have to start paying like how much does it cost to start an LLC?
It's I think
$100, $200.
all said and done, it was like $350. With all the
Licensing and stuff.
starting the LLC itself was $200, And then there was some tax stuff that also costed a bit more.
Gotcha.
And then I also started a Squarespace at the same time. So I think, around $350, something like that, to start everything up. I used all my tax return money to get it started. It was just, it's too much liability to start with, an LLC is. You really don't want to start that sort of thing until you're really sure that you want to make this company legit, you know? Like, I'm not trying to say avoid paying your taxes or anything. That's not what I'm trying to promote.
Yeah.
But, like, legitimately, the IRS is going to pay way more attention to your LLC than your little side hustle business that you take pictures at sometimes, which is what I pretty much have right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think going that hard was a bit of a detriment, but also...
Then again, it also puts you in a step in the right direction.
Exactly. I don't think I would have taken it as seriously as I have and start, like, branding and, you know, I never charged people before, and I feel like my work is good enough to charge people.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely do some good work, so... I would not have been nearly as inspired to continue with the business if I had not made that extra step. So in some cases it was kind of a bad thing because taxes are going to get a little hairy and trying to figure out what expenses I can use and all that kind of stuff. But then like at the end of the day, it was the push I needed to go in the right direction there.
There you go. There you go.
So
that was good. I mean, I feel like I really kind of sprouted out this year with like my personal goal of going towards like having my own beehives and really hoping my cousin really get our mead business off the ground. It's really his business, but I've been helping and like I've had a pretty strong hand in shaping it and making sure shit gets done.
Yeah. So having a like a behind the scenes sort of build to it. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I'd love to be able to sell it as my own too and help him. Like, so like I want to start an LLC called the Brother Bear Company or Corporation.
Okay.
Or just Brother Bear Inc. Whatever the lowest, or just the LLC Brother Bear. And then any like side thing is going to be like bear themed. So like if I sell honey, I'll call it the honey pot. Or if it's like mead, I don't know, like the tipsy grizzly. I don't know.
I kind of like that. Actually, I kind of like that. I don't know why. That makes sense.
I also thought maybe making the mead company, since it's honey, the honey pot.
And the funny thing is,
or the honey well.
Since I've had an LLC, I've been inspired to start more. Like I want to start like a general purpose goods business at some point. Like when I start getting into like, there's more hobbies that I want to get into, which I haven't decided yet, but I might make hobbies kind of like locking down what hobbies I'm good at and which ones I'm going to focus on for the years to come might be one of my goals for next year.
I feel like a thing to help you with that is like, well, this is me also personally. Like there's a property that I really want to get in Columbia City that's got a garage on it.
Oh yeah. You were telling me about that.
And use it for storage right now. But when I build a pole barn on there, that'd be the place to, if you want to try out a hobby, you can come try it out at mine.
Yeah.
Before you go get
It'd be
all the
almost
stuff.
like our own personal build guild.
That could be a thing for Columbia City.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And if you own the property, you wouldn't have to worry so much about like rent and making money from the business and things like that.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot better for you in the long run. What was the other thing?
Starting the podcast.
Yeah. Starting the podcast has been interesting because this is probably... I did have a Rainbow Six podcast at one point, but it probably made it to about as many episodes as we are now, and then it kind of fell through. And I never really felt like it reached the level of passion that this one has for me.
Yeah. Were you doing it by yourself, though?
I was doing it with a couple other guys from the Rainbow Six community I used to run.
I gotcha.
You know, and it is very difficult. I feel like podcasts in general, their hardest realms are after 10, between 10 and 50. 50 is usually when they start to hit their stride. And then their next hardest is at like 200 when they have to decide, you know, once you've hit that stride, you're going to get bored of it at a certain point, and it needs to evolve and grow into something new as well, but also what what do you maintain at the end of it? So we're in that phase between 10 and 50 where we're still trying to like figure out what this is.
Now?
I think this is 14.
I want to say it's more than that. I feel like it's 16.
I don't think it is.
I'm gonna go to Spotify and find out.
I'm gonna go to Anchor and find out. Fight me. Yeah, this will be 15. This one will be 15. Yeah, so we're right in the middle of that 10 to 50, trying to figure out exactly where we sit, like what niche we're going to fill as far as the podcast goes. And I feel like we've got a really good grounding as far as hosts go because we brought Caleb on, and I feel like that's a really good dynamic. But we need to figure out.
We need to get like
we sort of need to like push the envelope and figure out where our limits are. Like, are we a deeper podcast? Are we a funny podcast?
I'd like to go the funny route personally.
I agree, but I also would like to incorporate some of the deeper aspects to it because I don't know how many people know this about me. I feel like some people do. But like I'm a pretty deep thinker as far as things go. Like I think about stuff a lot and have a lot of like nuanced and somewhat, this is sounding like I'm stroking your own horn. Yeah, mental horn. But like somewhat advanced thoughts about things that are sometimes difficult for people to comprehend.
Yeah.
And but it's probably because I've thought about it 16 times. But I feel like I want to dip into that. Another thing like I want to talk about, especially here since we have a podcast that mentions ADHD in the name, is like my own ADHD journey and things like that, and like helping other people kind of along that route.
Was
like
a struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to make the podcast about ADHD. You know what I mean? But I do want to incorporate it a little bit more into being able to discuss it. The other goal that I'm not sure I told anybody for this year was I didn't want to hold it to myself to be in a relationship by the end of the year. But I wanted to
make those steps forward
to either try for a relationship.
I think we talked about that a little bit.
We may have. Or
probably 20 weeks ago or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
About 6 months.
Yeah. Either try harder to get into a relationship or deal with the mental like blocks that I have getting into them and
getting past your mental baggage.
Yeah, and therapy has been wonderful for that. And I have definitely, as far as this year goes, shot my shot way more times than I have in the prior.
And that's what it's all about.
2
buddy.
or 3 years.
You gotta shoot your shot, bud. If you don't, you miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, amen to that.
I so want to make it.
I
want to make a joke. Not about you. About
Oh.
Here, I'll put it in the doc. And
okay.
See if you can agree or not. I really want to.
But to kind of get away from the yearly thing, which I feel like at the end of the year we will definitely talk about, like what goals did we have at the beginning of the year? How many of those did we accomplish? What are we trying to accomplish by the end of the year? Maybe just like we'll do another seasonal check-in at around New Year's, something like that.
I'm gonna say that's who the quote's by.
Hold on, I'm looking. I'm scared.
It's too soon. I know it's too soon, but this.
I'm still not fully keyed in on that whole situation. We're going to get off of that because nobody can see this Google Doc.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. That was too far.
Yeah.
I'm glad
it was funny. It was funny. So we are going to do the seasonal check-in. Like I said, we may do this more of a yearly check-in again, and hopefully with Caleb next time towards the end of the year and kind of discuss what we're going to be looking to do next year.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a seasonal check-in kind of like from... let's say August to the end of October, because it's November 1st today that we're recording this.
Yeah.
So let's do like August to October. What goals did you have? And we'll just run through the questions. What goals did you set for yourself at the beginning of this season?
Well, to have a Halloween costume party at my house.
And we did that.
It
was pretty damn fun.
Since August, I don't know, pay attention and really crack down on school because this is my last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually got my work truck.
You did.
I
You
did.
That was a long process, but it did happen.
Yeah, they said I was going to get a work truck. Not this past May, but the May before. They said I was going to get a work truck as soon as I passed my test, and I passed my test this year in like June.
Gotcha.
And they said they're going to work on getting me a truck, and I finally got it like 4 months later.
Yep. Now you have it. It's a nice truck too.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
It's got the logo and everything. That's a big deal. Like that's not something that I've ever experienced in work, is having that level of responsibility. The most I've ever been is like a key holder.
No, that's the other thing is like we're so in touch with our customer that we've been at for the past like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That like they've given us our personal key badges, like magnet badges to get in, and then a key to get into the building.
Nice.
There's only certain people that have these keys.
Right. So you've built up that repertoire.
Well, like I've gotten to the point in that particular customer that they call me in the middle of the night to fix problems.
Jeez.
Like
that's good though.
Yeah.
That's good for your company too.
Yeah.
So that
keeps us busy, makes us money.
Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome.
What goals did you set for yourself at the beginning of the season?
So I had.
I feel like we went through a lot of them.
This season.
Maybe not for the season, but just
not
in
for
general.
this season, because I don't know if I've talked about. I know I've talked about the individual circumstances of this with you, but I kind of want to touch on it in a broad sense. I had a situation at the beginning of this season, so in August, that was very difficult for me. My brother's wedding.
Oh.
For all those. I don't want to go like too deep into it. We can probably do that on another podcast. Or a different project or something we've talked about doing a couple times. But I don't want to go like too deep into it, but there's a lot of like drama. I don't really have any way other to put it. There's like a history with the people that my brother had in his wedding for the most part, and just some circumstances going up to it. And I knew it was going to be very difficult. I think how did I describe it to you? It was like a culmination of all the actions I've made in the last 5 years had to be answered for in that day. It
was a pretty stressful day for you.
It was very stressful, and I purposely didn't really set any specific goals for this season because I knew I was going to be messed up.
Yeah.
Like I knew that, and I still only now, like within the last couple of weeks, do I think I've fully recovered from that. It was a lot of stuff. And like, talking about ADHD a little bit more, you have, in my research, the rejection sensitivity. And not necessarily rejection sensitivity, but
just more fear of rejection.
Yeah, fear of rejection, but I don't fear getting rejected by both those people anymore, but I did at one time. And so all of that stuff kind of comes back up.
Yeah.
So like you're dealing with, instead of rejection sensitivity from like one person when you ask somebody out and they say no, right? You're dealing with 20 people that you used to be friends with.
And now you're no longer hanging out with them.
Right, exactly. And they start talking to you like nothing ever happened, and it does feel like a sense of rejection. So it was a lot of mental hurdles to get over.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I just specifically didn't set any goals. And there's definitely been some really great stuff that's happened from that. I have been probably the strongest that I've ever been through a mental health crisis in these last 3 months.
I will say that from knowing you as a really good friend, I feel like you've definitely improved your mental capacity of dealing with situations that you normally were afraid to approach.
Yeah, and especially like in the time of being...
And be able to process it clearly without having an attack, I guess a panic attack. The best way to describe it.
I've avoided those for them. I really expected that to be a thing. Like I've had panic attacks in the past, and I really expected that to be a problem, but it really wasn't so much this season. Like there were hard days. There really were. Like I mean, like you could tell I was more messed up than I usually am, but like I feel like I've done a better job of processing through it than I usually would. Like I have my dips all the time. Like I have my ups and downs when it comes to mental health stuff.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat seasonally related, but it can also be triggered by events like that. So yeah, specifically didn't set goals for this season.
All right. Well, you want to ask me the next one since I have some goals?
Sure. How many of those goals did you accomplish?
I feel like well, and the other thing is I also wanted to get a dog. And I finally got a dog.
He did.
I got a puppy.
He's so cute.
His name's Waylon, and he's a blue pit bull.
Should we put up pictures of Waylon on the Instagram?
Absolutely. Nah.
I think we should.
Okay.
On at ADHD Pizza Pod, we're just going to plug ourselves right here.
Yeah.
We'll put up a couple pictures probably when this episode goes live. So
yeah, I feel like we should post more about like us personally, not just our
Sure. But also when you talk about other podcasts, a lot of times they do post sometimes like clips or pictures or things that are relevant to the podcast. They post those on Instagram as kind of like a supplemental. If they bring up a picture and they mention it in the podcast, sometimes they'll post it on Instagram.
True.
So people can go through and look at that too.
I gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I've accomplished everything I set out to do so far.
That's good. That's been a good year or a good season. I find, honestly, for me, and maybe this isn't the case for you, the more goals I set for myself, the more likely I am to get at least a couple of them done. Because if I only set 3...
You only set 3, and then next thing you know, you're only focused on those 3, and you could be focused on other things.
And any setbacks that get in the way might get in the way of all 3 of them, right? Mm-hmm. So if you set yourself 10 goals, no, you're probably not going to get 10 goals done. But the likelihood of you getting 2
to 3,
2 to 3 is way more likely.
And then you feel way more accomplished.
Yes, at the end of all of it, you do feel more accomplished.
Gotta follow that dopamine.
That's another ADHD thing. I found that when you have ADHD, the reason that you focus on so many, like you are easily distracted, is because your brain doesn't work with dopamine the same way that everybody else's does. You actually have to flood your brain with dopamine
for it to be interesting, or any effect to hold your attention.
Any effect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to have any sort of like satisfaction or anything. I feel
like I'm pretty good at flooding it whenever I need to.
Honestly, me too. But I realize that I do that subtly. So I did want to make how many goals did you accomplish? I may not have had any specific goals, but I sure accomplished a lot of shit.
This is true. A
lot of shit this last 3 months. Like,
you started your new job at CMP?
Yep. Got myself locked down at a job that I actually pretty enjoy right now.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, just being straight up brutally honest, the pay's rough. But I also just started there, and that's a company where you kind of start slow. But then you as you develop your skills and add on, you they pay you for development.
Yeah, I mean, so like Caleb climbed the ranks pretty fast, but he also caught on really fast at everything he did.
Exactly. And I'm actually not that far behind what Caleb was at.
Yeah,
I'm looking at probably a raise this month at they do like a 3-month review or whatever.
I gotcha.
And I've been told that I'd probably be looking at a raise.
I get my raise at the beginning of next month.
Ooh. Oh. Both of us are getting raises all within the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's probably at the end of this month.
Well, ours are set though, like
right.
Since I'm still an apprentice, we get automatic. So when you hit your let me restart. I'm a part of a 5-year I'm a part of a 5-year apprenticeship, and so they set your pay at a percentage of the journeyman's rate. So, like after you complete your first year, you get a raise. Second year, or after you complete your second year and you start your third, you get another raise. Once you hit third year, you hit, or maybe it's fourth. Yeah, it's four. Once you hit after you complete your full third year, then you get every 6 months. So 4th year, 4th and a half, 5th year, 5th and a half. And it just goes up by percentages.
Oh, it goes up by percentages. I was going to ask, do they have like a set and then you get cost of living increases? Okay.
Well, like,
percent.
so like every 3 years our contract's up with between our contractors and our local union. So we go and debate and talk to the contractors.
Make a new bid.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we'll go in for raises.
Right.
And any kind of like legal wordage that we want to change in our contract.
Interesting.
We can discuss that.
Those must be some really well refined contracts at this point then.
Well, my specific local was founded in 1896.
Ooh-wee.
No, 86.
Man.
I think. I don't know.
That's crazy though. Like I said,
we're
very
approaching the
well
150 mark.
well refined.
Well, I mean,
contracts.
it's more of like a lot of like over the years as labor laws change, you incorporate those into your contracts and you follow your safety guidelines and you change like.
Sure, but that gives you like an opportunity to make a plea for anything you want to change as well.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like change doesn't start all automatic nationally. You got to start at local.
Yep.
And then it catches like wildfire across the country.
Yep.
So like, I want to say when I was a second, I don't know. I think it was the second year we went on strike.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, second year we went on strike and we went on strike for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, it was 18 days.
It's a long time without pay.
18 days. And
do they have any insurance for that sort of thing?
No, we still have insurance, but whenever we went on strike, the local would buy like a whole hog or a whole cow, and then if you needed meat, you can come in and get meat.
That's what I was gonna say. Do they have any sort of like services for you? Like, do they have like insurance that they take out so that you can get a percentage of your pay? Anything like that? Okay,
that's the point of it. Is like we're willing to take no pay to get our point across.
Right. Yeah. Just like what Frito-Lay was doing here recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't cross a picket line.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's awesome though that they at least try to help provide.
Yeah. And I, not to toot our own horn, but like Local 166 has really like stepped up the game for like pipe fitters across the country. And like we're one of the more like role model-ish union halls that people look forward to. Not look forward to. I'd say look up to.
Yeah.
I guess a role model-ish.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
Plus, like, our apprentices and journeymen that come out of our hall are trained to, like, the highest degree. And anytime we go in traveling, we outwork everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, we're, like, one of the lowest paid in the country.
Just because of the cost of living where we're at.
Just the area.
Yeah.
Like, for the same thing I do here, if I were to do it out in California, it's like $75 an hour.
Right, but houses out there are also like triple what they are here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why cost of living and
yeah, but it's also like if you were to follow like the pay, like if we were to get paid, if our pay would to increase with the inflation of money, right now we'd be like, even here we should be making like $150 an hour for what we do, because it's that hard to do.
Right. It is very special work. Specialist work, I suppose is the way to put that. All right, let's get on to the next question here.
Yeah, sorry to go a little deep there, but
No, you're good. What setbacks did you face?
All this flipping rain.
Honestly,
I've been in the process for the past couple months. That's the only thing I haven't gotten. Sorry, one of my other goals was to get a washer and dryer installed.
Yeah,
and that's still in the works. Because in order to run a new gas line, I have to go underneath my house, and the only entrance is underneath my fridge.
Right. So,
and it's tight down there.
Yes, it is.
The entrance is the tightest spot. But over towards the fireplace, there's like 3 feet.
Really?
Well, because it follows the gradual slope of the yard.
Oh, sure.
But like I had to use a shovel over there to make it deeper so that I could get under there.
Jeez.
Like there's still a shovel under there. It's like a miniature shovel. It's like 3 feet long. It's awesome.
Fantastic.
So I was like, I'm digging into a china.
That's definitely been a process because I know you've been looking at doing that since we pulled the boats out of the water. It's been a while.
Well, it rained for like a month solid.
It really did.
And
last month was
shit.
nuts. Last month was crazy.
And I've got the pipe laying outside, so that's my goal this weekend, or even this week, is to get the pipe run underneath the house over to the line I've already ran from the room down.
Right, and just get it hooked up. Yep, that's totally fair.
It's just so nasty down there. I just don't want to go.
No, I get that.
Because it's moister than an oyster sometimes.
Well, it's a crawl space. It's designed to take the moisture so it doesn't come up into here.
It still smells grody.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Setbacks. Do you have any other setbacks that
other than the weather and just, I guess my other setbacks would be like poor time management on my part. I'm really bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really bad about time management. If you didn't know,
I was well aware, Riley.
And if you weren't before the podcast, you definitely are now. 15 episodes in. Hey, Riley, let's do the podcast. 9 o'clock.
yeah. It's 9:30 right now.
Well, I guess we just started at 9 o'clock. I feel bad.
No. It's not a big deal. I mean, like, but you're also incredibly busy. So, like, time management is really difficult. Like, if you wanted to operate with how busy you are with hobbies and friends and work and all of those things,
school,
you need a secretary to make your schedule.
Dude,
you would need another professional to make your schedule if you wanted to do it at optimal efficiency.
Honestly.
Yeah, I know. I don't
I feel
envy
like
it.
I'm not doing too bad for myself for as much shit as I do.
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm trying to say. Is you're not doing too bad considering everything that you have going on.
Yes.
So,
but I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. That's just me. I can't not.
If I went at your pace for even 6 weeks, I did for a while, right? Remember in April, I was working like 3 different jobs and all that, and I was 80 hours a week. I shut down. Like, I got sick, like flu like sick, for like a week straight.
See, I'm the opposite. I can't stop. Like just like anytime we hang out on Saturdays, as soon as I sit down, I'm done.
It's true.
I pass out.
This is true.
It's sad, but it's true. It's like I got the dad syndrome. Sit down on the couch for 3 minutes.
Like we were joking on Facebook about that.
Yeah, I saw
Did
that.
you see that?
I saw that. Dad sits down for 3 minutes at the couch. Touch the thermostat. What the fuck you doing?
Riley's not a dad.
But I've got the dad bod and the dad jokes.
And now you're a dog dad.
Now I'm a dog dad.
There you go.
He's my baby boy. He's even got my eyes.
He's so cute.
So stinking cute.
He is really cute.
He's only 8 weeks old. His name's Waylon.
He's a dense boy.
He's a thick boy.
He really is. 8 weeks old, and he's like
20 pounds.
Pure muscle.
We're going to go to the vet here at the end of the week and find out. Well, first off, I got to get a list of all his vaccinations he's already gotten and what ones he needs still. And then I'll take like what food I'm giving him. And then I'll probably ask for like a routine of like, well, where's a good place to get him trained? Like to do training and socializing with him.
Oh, sure.
Like that. So like I've been going to the same vet for like the past like 4 dogs.
Oh, okay.
So like we have a personal plus I've done scouts with their family for 18 years. So,
wow. Okay.
Well, not 18.
I was going to suggest you go to
17 years.
Go to the vet that we go to because it's a lot cheaper. But if you got a personal rapporteur, there's nothing beating that.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them. Which one? What, the one in Columbia City?
No, we actually go to Albion, over by what used to be Bushy. Now it's like Mobex or something like that.
I'd be down to try somebody new.
They're really, like, honestly, they were only going to charge us like I think it was our cat needed to have some dental work done, and I think it was gonna be like $60, like $28 a tooth or something like that. It was not bad.
That's really good.
Yeah, really fucking good.
Like
We've been going there for quite a few years.
I might have to go check that out.
Yeah.
That's a really good deal. Plus, that's a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah.
This one, well,
because Albion's like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
Like straight up, you just go up 9 to Albion, and then you turn on 6 to the right.
yeah, is it out by the USDA office?
Is that near the Bowen Center? It's like right next to the Bowen Center out there.
The USDA office is like right across from the school.
It's a little past the school.
Wait, we're talking. Oh, 6. 6
6
is north
goes
of
past the
town.
school. No.
That's 8.
Oh, am I thinking of 8?
6 is north.
Okay, it's 8 then. Anyway,
Right.
we're talking about nobody knows the location of Albion.
Anyways,
Anyway,
next question.
oh, I did want to discuss like personal setbacks.
I feel like you went. Like
Yeah, I
you-
feel like I've discussed it. Yeah, I feel like I talked about it. How is your mental health going?
I feel like mine's doing pretty good. I mean,
You've had a lot of like really positive things go on in the last 3 months that really help with that too, I would say.
my sister had the official wedding,
Mhm.
so that was another thing, was getting through that mess.
Yeah.
I was the man of honor. Like, that's not really common.
Not no, it's not. I wouldn't say it's common yet, but it's becoming more common.
Yeah. And like me and my sister have that relationship of like, roll together, we die together.
Right.
Like, ride or die. Yeah. That was pretty cool being the man of honor. It was a little weird going to the bachelorette party,
Sure.
but the planner came in clutch instead of for everything. So like all the rest of so most times at bachelorette parties they have dick theme everything.
Yes. Well aware.
They made boobs for me.
That's
It
fantastic.
was awesome. It's pretty great.
That's fantastic.
So, or no, I think it was one boob. It wasn't like 2. It was like the size of a.
I have many questions. None of them I'm going to ask on this podcast, but I do have questions.
So it was like dad theme. So all the girls showed up as like dads with like tape measures and ball caps and khakis and New Balance and stuff.
Fantastic.
so you know what I did?
Did you dress like a mom?
I showed up as a mom,
Fantastic.
not just any mom, trailer park trash mom.
Did you show up in like slippers and pajama pants and
I had leggings. I had a tight spaghetti strap. I took one of the towels and did like the girls how they put their hair up.
Yeah.
And then I had a purse, and then someone stuck $1 in my strap, my bra.
Oh my god.
I wasn't wearing. I meant the spaghetti strap with the tank top.
Yeah. Riley, that's
And then
amazing.
I had a yoga mat.
Riley, that's amazing.
It was beautiful.
That is beautiful.
I don't have. I full sunned.
That is perfect.
That's what makes memories.
Nope, you're
You
right.
Don't
You're right.
fuck around when you're having fun.
Yep. This is very
Well,
true.
I guess you do, because when you're having fun, you fuck around.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess.
And they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. But that you make the best memories.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a ton of fun. How is your mental health going?
How is your mental health? I feel like you're doing better.
Better. That's what I was gonna say. Well, we did discuss this a little bit too. It was bad for a while.
Yeah.
The
I was
also
set
like,
you back.
what?
So I feel like the wedding set you back.
The
but
wedding did. And I was soul searching a lot in the last 2-3 months. Like, trying to figure out. The wedding made me cement a lot of things that I've kept fluid for a long time.
Elaborate.
I don't want to go like too deep into stuff, but like, you know, it's related to a church, and so like my thoughts on religion for the past 5 years, I've specifically kept fluid. Like I didn't want to make any set choices, but ever since the wedding, I've definitely been more firm in what I think about those things. Like the every thought that I've had and I didn't really like want to lock down and I didn't really want to think about, or I didn't want to spend too much time thinking about, I've cemented in the last 3 months. And that took a lot of time. Like that took a lot of like mental processing and putting together. And it's not to say that I'm not open-minded, but it just like all the decisions that I have made up to this point have been cemented.
It made you more, I don't know. I'm trying to
grounded, I think, is a way that I
think
would
that's
put
the best way of saying grounded, but still open-minded to what's possibilities.
Right, exactly. I think it grounds the things that I was thinking about and had kept purposefully not grounded. Yeah, questioning is a really good way of putting that. And that's with a lot of things. Like, honestly, at the end of this 3 months past what happened at the wedding, I really, like, don't question who I am so much anymore.
You more know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was really difficult for me. Again, I'm trying not to go, like, too deep into stuff, but, like, I'm not the most... I'm, like, a good mixture of what you would expect a guy to be and everything that you don't expect a guy to be, you know? Like, I work at I work at a machine shop. Like, that's really hard physical labor. I get dirty every day. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy that kind of work. That's kind of more what you like traditionally. And like, I'm not trying to throw anybody into boxes or whatever. Like, I don't. Yeah. But like for me personally, growing up, traditionally, that's what I expected men to do.
The hardworking, grimy jobs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm at now.
But then again, you can also do the flip side where you're passionate about how you look and making an impression on people. And being, I feel like, culturally appropriate, or not appropriated, but more like just
more aware of the culture around me and things like that. And like
in the now.
Yeah. And like paying attention to what people think about. And then sometimes even my interests, like you said, with what I wear is definitely something like I at least try, not on work day. So like today I don't care, but yeah, for the most part, when I'm going out, I do care. And like, I definitely engage in color in a different way than most men do.
Yeah, the morning selfies.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about that. That
you haven't really been doing too much.
No, I haven't.
Recently.
Not
for our audience listening, me and Sam definitely Snapchat every day and keep the streak going. What are we at now? Like 200? No, we're close.
I think we're at 150 because we lost it at one point.
132.
132. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, we were higher than that at one point.
Not higher than that.
No, not higher than that.
But we had like a 30-day streak and then broke it.
Yeah,
or something like that.
What was I saying? Oh, well, it's just like I interact creatively in a different way than most guys do. I think is a better way of putting that. Like it does relate to color. I do really care about colors a lot in a way that most people don't. That's such a like weird.
It's a weird way of saying it, but
it's
like
a weird. Yeah, it's a weird way of saying it. It's a weird thing to say.
Sam.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that in my photography a lot of times too.
Oh, sorry, we got way off track. I was gonna explain something about Snapchat. So like every morning, Sam used to Snapchat, or his streaks was the morning selfie of what he was gonna wear
every day
today.
Every day.
And then that kind of fell off when he went to CMP, but that's not a bad thing.
It fell off before that. It fell off when I left USSI.
No. Because I remember you used to do morning selfies all the time. Even when we started the podcast, and you weren't at USSI when we started.
That's true. Then I must not have been doing them every day at that point.
Maybe not every day.
Yeah. Because I was like
pretty off.
That was all about fence, and that was... Yeah, I was working outside, so I was dressing junky.
Maybe it was at night.
Might have been. Yeah, I don't
evening
remember.
Snapchat streaks.
Yeah, and I also used to dress up a little bit more when I was streaming regularly.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's next?
What do you got?
Oh.
Pull it up for me, sorry.
Oh, no. I said what is, but I'm improper grammar. What are your financial goals?
Right now I'm just trying to get back on my feet. So I switched jobs a bunch of times this year, and it didn't really catch up to me.
I'd say I'd hate to be your tax person this year.
Honestly.
You're going to get like what? 6? No.
No, 4.
At least 3 or 4.
I think 4. The thing that's going to screw me over is the LLC and the 1099 from DoorDash is going to be the interesting ones.
I think the LLC is a 1099.
It's because
it's such a small amount.
It is for me. And any income that I made off of it. It is not
for the business itself.
For the business itself, the business itself is its own entity for taxes that will have to be messed with. Which
now here's a question.
Not looking forward to.
Is the business have its own bank account?
It does.
Okay. And does the business have... there were some other legal things you had to do for it to technically count as a business. But you probably know all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
Are you supposed to have like a certain stamp? And if you want to change things or do things to the business, you have to have a log of what you're changing or doing and then have it stamped with a seal or something. Or is like an easy way of signing off
there's none of that anymore. There might have been at one time.
Okay.
No, you can pretty much change whatever you want about the business. The thing that I'm really behind on is only one, I think.
Only one?
Only one of the gigs I did as the business that I've done this year. The rest of them I've done as a personal. Well, also I don't want to throw when I do pictures for friends or whatever.
Okay.
That's been most of my other work. Like I only did the one wedding for Kirsten's stepsister.
That was as the business.
That was as the business, yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, switching jobs as many times as I did, kind of set me back a lot. Also, taking a really big vacation in the middle of it didn't help.
This is true.
So I am trying right now to get myself back on my feet. I'm making less than I did, but I'm at a job I like more. So,
you know, sacrifices you got to take.
Exactly. So I'm working right now to get myself back on track. I actually, funny enough, are you familiar with Dave Ramsey at all?
Yes.
So I grew up listening to Dave Ramsey stuff. It's how my parents got debt-free many, many years ago. So all of that, every step of that has been ingrained in my head since I was like 9. So I just started incorporating his budgeting style. I actually downloaded his budgeting app and everything. And I've been using that pretty regularly, getting back on track, just tracking every dollar that goes through in and out. So
I should really spend more time doing that.
It's
I know it's pretty tedious.
It is, but once you start doing it and you get in the mindset, it's actually kind of fun. Not fun. Fun isn't the right word. Maybe satisfying is a better word for it. But like, you can kind of see where
the flow of your money and
yeah, you can see where you're leaking, especially. It becomes a lot more apparent. Like my incredibly frivolous out to eat spending and all that kind of stuff was getting wild.
Yeah, my budget's like really tight.
Yeah,
I've told you a couple times that I do so much, but then again, I've also made it to the point where I can't. I don't know. I feel like if I do anything else or not do certain things, it'll hurt my budget.
Right. Yeah. Money's kind of hard to talk about, isn't it? It makes you feel a little self-conscious. At least it does for me.
I'm not really self-conscious about what I make and that kind of thing.
It's not what I make. That stuff I don't care about. But like when you're playing it close like we are,
yeah.
I get a little self-conscious about that because I don't like admitting that I'm playing it this close and that I have debt and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk about that stuff.
True.
But just because I feel embarrassed by it and I don't really know why. Like it's pretty common for our age.
That was something I was going to bring up is like, yeah, it's embarrassing to have debt, but then again, it really isn't because everybody has it.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, I didn't say everybody.
Most people.
99% of us have it.
Yes.
And it's not the worst thing to have debt because it makes it so you can make bigger purchases.
Yep. Helps your credit score.
And spread it out more evenly. Helps your credit score.
Yep.
Without debt, you don't have credit. Without credit, you can't buy shit you want.
Yep.
It's a messed up circle, but
it is.
But
and it's an especially messed up circle for people with impulse control problems.
This is true. But the other thing is, you know that the United States is the only. Did we talk about this before? That the U.S. is the only country in the world that goes off of credit.
Like makes decisions off of credit?
Like lenders won't lend based off of credit.
Oh, really?
So other countries, and before 1980, they would go. So like over in Europe, there's certain countries over in Europe that, like, let's say a young couple that got married want to buy a house. Their grandparents have to sign off on it.
Really?
Because liability goes back to the family.
Interesting.
The family
Automatically.
Automatically. Like, you have to have like 6 different signatures going back in your family saying that you believe that these two are responsible enough to get it.
Huh.
And pay for it. And if they don't, then it falls back on you. It's like having co-signers almost.
Right, but in the U.S., co-signers you can have be anybody, right?
Yes.
So it can be a family friend, it can be...
Or like maybe if, let's say, your family's small, or like your family's not from there, there might be certain stipulations around that.
I'm sure there's ways to get around it, but
yeah.
Interesting. No, I didn't know that. But yeah, it is...
But it used to be like that here too. Like your family, like let's say you and your significant other get married, your parents had to sign off on the bill.
Oh, really?
Or like say, or give, I guess, a letter of, like, I don't know what you call that. Like my
like a letter of approval,
essentially. But like my one of my coworkers said that he had his pastor write one of those letters to get the house that he bought.
Huh.
Or like, I guess someone's trustworthy and you're like, I don't know. Maybe so many people writing in and I guess approving of you. I'm not 100% sure on this.
No,
but,
I know what you're talking about though.
But yeah.
It's more traditionalist.
Yeah.
So.
But I guess credit makes you more independent in this country.
Yeah.
Be able to not have to depend on other people.
Well, and credit score is used as almost collateral.
Yeah.
In the U.S. in a way that collateral used to be used, right? Like obviously for some loans that when you start getting bigger and bigger, you still need collateral, right?
Yes.
But for like small stuff like credit cards, cars, things like that, your credit score is usually enough collateral, and it's almost using your reputation as collateral. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so like your financial reputation is your collateral.
Exactly.
So if you fuck up, then they fuck up your collateral. Your credit.
The thing that gets me about it though is there's so many factors that go into the credit score where it's like I have not missed a payment on anything since 2016. It's been a long time.
What's your score?
It's not great.
Why?
Because I'm so close to my limit.
What, on cards or something?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's why. And I mean, like my car loan is quite a bit higher than it should be because I got shafted real hard when I bought my car. But I don't know. It's not bad.
So what do we do next time? We call Caleb, Riley, or Jake to go for car farm.
To be fair, I didn't know you then. I only knew Jeffrey, and you know what? Honestly, Jeffrey did help.
Yeah.
And he did say that I probably shouldn't have bought that car, but I probably should.
Your sense of freedom and told you differently.
And I probably could have I met you guys like very shortly after I got that thing too, and I definitely could have borrowed one of Jeff's or you guys's or anybody's. But, you know, decisions were made and I wanted to be independent.
That's life though.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
learn unless you mess up.
Yeah.
And it's okay to mess up.
It was my first time buying a car, first time with any sort of credit, things like that. Go. So, yeah, just made a mistake the first time. I'll get it fixed up next time.
There you go. That's how you learn. That's how you get better.
Yep.
People who get everything handed to them never really...
Lord knows I didn't have very much handed to me. That's for sure.
Facts. Facts.
Do we want to touch on any of these other ones quickly? We don't have too much time. We're right at about an hour. Oh, we should ask this question, I think. I think this is an important one. Do you feel satisfied with how you've lived in the last few months?
I would say yes, because yes and no. Like I'm pretty bummed that I didn't do what I set out to do with the washer and dryer yet.
Uh-huh.
But then again, in the other sense, yes, that I've gotten most of the things out of the water that I needed to do, like the boat lift and the boats and the jet ski,
right,
and all that stuff out. and I've still managed to stay at work and stay at school and do good in those.
Right.
But I still feel like I'm not quite accomplished what I want to accomplish in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have to pull my raft and buoy out, and it's fucking cold now.
Yep.
So that's going to suck ass.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes. I'm just waiting for it to not be windy so I can go out there and get the buoy on the raft with a paddle.
I don't know when it's not going to be windy, bud. It's fall.
I'll just have an extra long rope someone can hold on to.
There we go.
Hold me back in. That's my main concern. I just don't want to like go and pick up the buoy and then just be like halfway across the lake with no boats in the water.
Right. With no one out there to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you?
You know, if I was to give you a flash answer and say yes or no, do I feel happy? I would say no. But ultimately, when I look at it logically, I'm pretty proud of myself over the last 3 months. Like,
yeah, I'm proud of you too, buddy.
I really should be more
I feel like
satisfied.
I feel like you shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that I'm hard on myself, so I should be more satisfied with what I've done because I really did a lot, and that's the imposters.
We started a D&D campaign.
That was awesome, man.
And
the D&D has been so much fun.
Yes, it is. It is really.
I absolutely love it. It's our own like. You know, like we pay attention to some rules and some we just throw out, and it's our own little thing, and it's just been a ton of fun. I like working for like doing the extra work ahead of time for everybody. You know, and as we get further into it, we'll probably have to have everybody, you know, get a little more rules heavy. I was just talking to Brad about this, how he never uses spells or anything. Mm-hmm. But like right now where we're at, it's absolutely perfect. Like we're doing a really good job. I think the campaign's a lot of fun.
Like heavier hitters at me.
Oh, trust me. Well, every campaign mission in this one goes up by two challenge ratings.
Okay.
So
I won't miss the boss fighting now. Is the boss another challenge rating up?
Yes. You guys, listen. I'm gonna give you a little spoiler right now. You're gonna get a little spoiler for the campaign. And I know.
So is everybody else who listens.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all could very easily just walk away, and the boss would never see you.
That's what I figured.
You guys kind of like
chose the right path.
Well, you chose the path I expected you to, but what I didn't expect was for you guys to finish that
so quickly.
It's so quickly because that guy was going to hold Barry hostage.
Oh, the guy on stage?
Yeah, the guy on stage.
Wait,
that was his whole...
Who took him out?
I can't remember. I think it was a magic missile that ended up doing him in.
Brad's magic missile.
Yeah. Anyway, no one on the podcast cares about this.
I'm sorry.
D&D talk. But
so like we're having a lot of fun. And
it's so much fun. We talk about it like all the time. It sneaks into our conversations. It's just...
I feel like we should start like not necessarily record like physically like visually recording, but like setting two of these mics up on the table while and just record.
I want to. These mics would be bad for it because they're dynamic mics. They're only meant to pick up our voices direct at us. But
yeah, because like when I'm out here, you can't really hear me.
Exactly, that's what a dynamic mic does. But like a condenser mic, we could definitely do something like that. It'd be a lot of fun.
I could like hang it right in the middle.
Do like a play podcast or something like that. The only reason I don't with the campaign that we're in currently is because it was a podcast. So I don't want to like rip off of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was doing my own original story,
I feel like I really want to help you do it, like write an original campaign, but I want to be
way harder than you think it is.
Definitely want to play it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I can't play it if I help write it.
It took me years to finally get over the I want to play D&D, but I don't want to be the DM. And I was finally like, I want to play D&D so bad that I will be the DM. And honestly, being the DM has been a lot of fun too, because I get to mess with you guys as much as you mess with me.
I feel bad because I definitely overstep all the time. I feel like I step on your toes at
You're
the DM.
It's about the back and forth of people's wits. It's like my wits versus yours. That's the whole
point of D&D.
The whole point of the game.
But like, I feel like I like as you're supposed to be describing stuff, like I'm describing it too.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really notice that so much.
It's whatever. But let's. Do you have any new personal news coming up for this next season? Oh, that was the next question after that. What situations were you going into this season? Oh, no, sorry. I want to say the next season. Like what are your goals for this upcoming season, and what are you going to do to accomplish them?
My goals for this next season are definitely mostly financial. Getting more, like I kind of dug myself this hole, so I'm going to work really hard to get out of it. So I've been like door dashing for 2 hours because I don't want to I also don't want to mess with the life balance that I built either, because I built a really nice life balance that I'm actually pretty happy with right now. And I don't want to mess with that too much, but I also want to work a little bit harder to reach the goals that I'm looking for. So I've been door dashing for just 2 hours after work, till I make an extra $20 a day, $30 a day, something like that. Whenever I'm kind of sick of it. I did 3 orders before I came today, and it wasn't really egregious. I had a double order from the same restaurant, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. And I made $20, and then I headed over.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's all I'm really looking to do. What about you? What are you looking to do the next?
I am looking forward to having Friendsgiving and to, I don't know, get the washer and dryer finished.
Yep.
Obviously. Get the stuff out of the water and to, I don't know, be better with time management. Maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty bad at that, but I'll try to get better.
Google Calendars.
I can't do anything on my phone. I won't remember to do it. And that's the withdrawal for me on ADHD. I can't remember shit. How I do what I do.
Sounds like
I don't know how I can get it
Sounds
done.
like Riley's getting a day planner. You know who else had a day planner?
I have a day planner and I still don't use it.
You still don't use it?
Not the way I should. Not to the efficiency that I would like. But
I see what you mean.
I'm gonna definitely try harder next time too. So,
you know who else carried a day planner?
Steve Jobs is a Disney princess. This has been ADHD Pizza. Bye.